caves may have been used as shelters against possible aerial bombardment.
You didn't have to build all that extravagant shit just for temporary shelters.
From extraterrestrials that were warring with each other during that time.
Daring Kuyi was built out of fear of an aerial enemy. Because if something flies over you very, very fast, you can't see the ventilation shafts. Some suggest 30,000 people used to live underground at Daring Kuyi.
And you can see the light under there, and you can see a light flashing in the back. All this stuff was synonymous with people who just had information from the sunlight. And this is what's beautiful about it. And I can't stop pointing that out to you. It's just that the sun is unlimited with the ability to think that it could render to you. And that's the reason why people use this structure right here to go underground. And this right here, from this point of view, at looking at it, you can see that this was a city at one time. And even if it erodes and due to abnormal winds or whatever, it starts to look a little worn and then they get offline a little bit or whatever, we can all see that these were steeples that was erected to the sunlight. And this civilization at one time was grand and great and took this whole multitude right there that you're looking at. But it wasn't a white civilization, so they won't come out and tell you the truth about that, because they don't want credit to be given to the people that are greater than they are, because they're new kids on the block that has destroyed everything and need to get out of the way so this type of engineering feat can return into the seat of driving.
During recorded history, many different peoples did, in fact, hide in the underground city of Daring Kuyi to escape everything from desert raiders to Roman legions. But some experts wonder whether such conventional attacks can really explain why Daring Kuyi was built in the first place. If it were an enemy that was on horseback, it would be easy for them to just smother everyone inside by just closing all the ventilation shafts.
We had the phrase in the Defense Department studies that I participated in that a cave is a grave to a well-prepared adversary. Once you find it, it is highly vulnerable.
The problem is they were not trying to kill people. They were looking for people they could eat, people they could rape, and people they could turn into slaves, and good Catholics and good Christians. So that's the reason why they didn't suffocate the people. What they did is they found a way into the cave and took their ass down in there, and they extracted all the people out of them and took them around the world into bondage and made slaves out of them.
But did the people of Daring Kuyi really go underground to avoid becoming casualties in an extraterrestrial battle in the skies?
They had already lived underground because of the fact that they were wise enough to get information from the sunlight, and the sunlight let them know right off the top that that was a good place for them to be living, and then they could just come out and go gather the things that they needed and go back in. There's people on the earth right now that still do that. They mine above the earth and take what they mine back into the earth with them.
And if so, might there be other such cities from...
Imposters. Imposters, imposters. All of it. Imposters. All this shit. Stolen from the Egyptians. All of it. Fake, 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 fake. Phony, 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 phony as hell. Okay? Phony.
In the distant past. According to ancient astronaut theorists, there are. And they can be found much nearer to home. Deep in the caves of the American Southwest.
Now it's getting good. Look at this. There's the sun again. Imagine that.
The majestic mesas and rugged mountains of the American Southwest are home to many native peoples, including the Navajo.
These are the same people right here that were responsible for those other structures that you saw over there. There was underground dwellers too. Same stuff all over here. Underground living in the desert regions like this always had elaborate tunnels underground all the time. Watch. We're going to go at that. Let's go.
Zuni, Pueblo, Hopi, and Apache. These tribes have many ground to avoid becoming casualties in an extraterrestrial battle in the skies. And if so, might there be other such cities from the distant past? According to ancient astronaut theorists, there are. And they can be found much nearer to home, deep in the caves of the American Southwest.
Same thing here in America. Miles and miles and miles on the other side of the globe, okay? But as you can see, same type of layout. Let's go at this.
The majestic mesas and rugged mountains of the American Southwest are home to many native peoples.
Right away, you can see remnants of great work. Erosion and everything has taken it away now. But let your mind work with that. And you can see what you want to see there, like I do. But you can see them. Look. You can see them. Okay, as the years go by, they done left, but the people who are living in these rocks here understand that. Mined all into this huge big rock right here. I guarantee you, large civilizations of people lived inside of that damn thing. If we had the finances and the money and no restraint from the white man to go up in here and see our past, it would be grand and great. But he don't want you to know that because he needs you to worship him.
Including the Navajo, Zuni, Pueblo.
That's what I want to see. Look how they cut these holes into the rocks, just like I've been always telling you. Do you see? I want you to take a good look at that. Look. Just like the holes you saw cut into the other rock. Look how tapered it is. They got a little walkway up here where they can walk down there if they wanted to. Ladders that they can pull up in the case rivalry comes. They pull the ladders up so that people can't get up the wall. You see? This is who they are. These people were cutting into stone at the arrival of the Spanish conquistadors when they arrived here. They murdered and raped all these people. And as the years went by, in this picture, it's the only remnants of it. Because now to this day, all this look like is a dilapidated mountainside. All this dwelling existence that went on, clotheslines and everything, stoves outdoors, you name it. Go in right here and go down into the recesses inside of there. You got a basement. All that was going on. The white man came here and found these civilizations of people and murdered them and tortured them and made them hunt for gold for him. And raped all the women and told them to be good Catholics.
Hopi and Apache.
And to this day, he still lightens them up and make them look as white as he can to hide the original melanated features of darkness when he got here. They were definitely sun worshippers, still with the feathers in their head, synonymous as the Egyptians wore the feathers in their head in Africa.
These tribes have many different beliefs, but their creation myths all share something quite remarkable.
When we're talking about our origin.
See, they give you this. I want to show you something.
The majestic mesas and rugged mountains of the American Southwest are home to many native peoples, including the Navajo, Zuni, Pueblo.
This is not the skin pigments that would have been synonymous with people living in the desert, okay? That's what that was like, okay? They were living in, they found a way to survive out in the desert. You can see that with the hard sun-baked stone around them.
And Apache. These tribes have many different beliefs, but their creation myths all share something quite remarkable.
This is what I'm talking about. See, they had way, way, way better art than this because they had the ability to draw what they saw with their eyes with the help of sunlight. So this right here, it's not really, if you really want to know what I think, authentic enough for me to accept because they were very, very brilliant artists. This seems like something a 5-year-old child would write on the wall.
But we're talking about our origin, and you know, you hear the stories about us coming down from Alaska through the Bering Strait. But what we believe is we came out from the ground.
And that's what you should believe. You are an autochthonous being that sprung from the soil here. And let me explain to you why I say that. Because what we know now as the Americas, I believe, broke apart from Africa and drifted over here into this part of the world and manifested over here. But the original part of this belongs to the African region. And if you think I'm lying, just place them both together and you can see that North America will fit right on the top of Africa.
The Apaches and other Pueblo Indians, such as the Zunis and the Hopi Indians, all have this legend that they
Not Indians, because it's not India.
emerged from some underground world into today's world.
And that's absolutely right, because I'm going to explain it to you. There is a sun in the earth, okay? And this sun that permeates inside of the earth is the unique energy source of this certain part of energy that I'm telling you about that make all manifestations pop up on top of the earth. And even if a lot of people don't understand what I'm trying to say to you, when they try to tell you the creator of civilization being Africa, this is true. But we have no real sustaining proof that other regions of the earth did not autochthonously develop men also, and women also. What we do have as a knowledgeable fact that we can all adhere to and centralize from is that there was 2 breeding pairs who brought the whole idea of infrastructure of life on the earth being melanated. But as far as the origin other than Africa being the launching point, that is kind of absurd. Because your true original mother on this planet will be, if you really want to know what I think, I would say Tanzania. That's what I believe. Okay, but definitely Africa. If we can't pin it to one point, my point of reference would be Tanzania. But definitely Africa is what I would say.
In some legends, the southwestern peoples went back underground for safety.
From the Spanish conquistadors, and it's not that they went back underground, they went underground where some of the remnants of them had remained since antiquity and are still underground right now.
The Hopi of Arizona say their ancestors escaped a deadly storm of falling stars with the help of the Snake People, who took them to shelters deep in the earth. Another...
See what I just said, the serpent power energy that permeates in the earth. Now look at that X that you be seeing in my camera all the time. Okay? Now come on, you're not going to sit your ass up here and think you're going to hold on to that Jesus bullshit forever. When you see the green light right there in the X, okay, of red fire letting you know you better get it together. You see the red sky letting you know I will burn your fucking ass up. I'm not playing with you. You better get that bullshit out of your head and get serious about repairing this earth. Because if you're not down for the get down, your ass gonna lay down and you gonna stay down. That's what the green light told me to say to your ass.
Hopi legend speaks of the Ant People, who protected them from storms of fire and ice.
The Hopi Indians survived cataclysms by living in this underground world with the ant people for a certain period of time.
Now, ironic as it may sound, I just told you, if the ants can do it, why couldn't the people do it? And then there go the synonymous acquaintance of the both. See, now, is there people that's ants? I wouldn't say so. I never saw them. Do I doubt that it could be? No, I do not. But I've never saw any. Never read anything about them. But I do know that the sunlight can give man the same knowledge that it give an ant. So can a man live and flourish under the same conditions as an ant? You damn right.
And then eventually they emerged from the underground world